Cloud computing has transformed the way we operate, but it's also raised a wave of new questions for risk and compliance teams. I often get asked things like, what does cloud risk really mean in a GRC context? Who's responsible for what? And how do frameworks fit into this shifting landscape? So in this session, I'll walk through those common questions and explain how to build a structured, proactive approach to cloud security risk. Let's start with the basics. What is cloud risk in the context of GRC? When we talk about cloud risk, we're not just talking about cybersecurity incidents. We're talking about distributed accountability, governance challenges that span across internal systems, third-party vendors, and public cloud platforms. From a GRC perspective, that means your risk register can't stop at the walls of your own company. It needs to follow your data wherever it lives. And that's why frameworks matter so much. They give structure to this otherwise abstract world. Another question I hear a lot is, aren't cloud providers already responsible for most of the security? It's a fair assumption, but only partly true. Cloud providers secure their own infrastructure. You're still responsible for your configurations, your access controls, and your data. That's where things can slip through the cracks. Centraleyes helps you draw that line clearly by assigning controls based on frameworks like ISO 27017, NIST, or the CSA Cloud Controls Matrix. You see exactly what's yours to manage and where third parties come into play. So what should you be tracking? What are the actual risks in the cloud? Beyond the usual suspects, like data breaches and vendor exposure, there are cloud-specific risks. Misconfigured permissions, overly complex architectures, shadow IT, and inconsistent monitoring. Using Centraleyes, those risks are mapped directly to your frameworks and visualized in a real-time risk register. No more digging through spreadsheets. You see what's exposed, what's covered, and what's urgent. And here's another question that always comes up. If we're using big names like AWS or Microsoft, aren't we already safe? Not quite. These providers are secure, but only if used securely. Even a small misstep, like a misconfigured S3 bucket, can lead to major exposure. Our platform helps assess your cloud posture against your selected frameworks and flags risks based on the actual configurations in place. We're not just checking if you're using a good provider, we're checking if you're using them wisely. Now let's talk about third-party vendors, especially ones using cloud themselves. Your vendor ecosystem is often your biggest blind spot. That's why Centraleyes includes third-party risk within the same framework-driven system. You can onboard vendors, assign assessments, and track which cloud services they use and whether those services meet your requirements. And if there's a zero-day or breach, you can launch an immediate reassessment across affected vendors with just a few clicks. In the end, cloud security risk management comes down to this. The infrastructure may be shared, but the responsibility is yours. Frameworks give you the roadmap, and Centraleyes brings it to life across cloud services, vendors, and your internal teams. With the right tools, you're not reacting to the cloud. You're managing it with clarity, confidence, and control. Thanks for joining me. Feel free to reach out if you have questions.